Hello, I'm Terry Moran, and we have some breaking news at this hour. Former Trump White House advisor Peter Navarro has now been found guilty on 2 counts of criminal contempt of Congress. The jury deliberated for several hours after closing arguments wrapped up just yesterday. Peter Navarro was initially indicted after he refused to appear for a deposition in front of the January 6th committee, and also for refusing to produce documents to that committee. ABC News senior investigative reporter Catherine Faulders has been inside the courtroom all day, and she joins me now on the phone with more. Catherine, Peter Navarro, now the second former Trump aide to be found guilty of contempt of Congress. They did not want to cooperate with the January 6th committee. What's the significance of this verdict?
That's right, he did. And of course, Steve Bannon, as you remember, Terry, was the first one. Navarro becoming the second one charged on both of those counts, found guilty on both of those counts. Look, we expected from talking to sources close to his legal team that this was something that they were expecting, that they intended to appeal. But there's been a bit of a twist in this, actually, as I stand outside this courthouse right now. His lawyers have already moved for a mistrial. They've asked for a mistrial. They said that the jury came out during their break. They came outside. They were around protesters, for example, and that could have tainted their view on this. Navarro has been trying to speak at the microphones right now, but protesters are preventing that. So the judge, of course, said that he wasn't prepared at this moment to rule on the mistrial motion. He wasn't aware that there were protesters outside, and that's currently the scene that's going on right here. Now, Navarro is speaking at microphones about this right now. You could probably see those protesters in the back of that camera. But the reality was found guilty, and his lawyers will likely appeal this ruling.
Right. Thank you, Catherine Faulders. The case will go on appeal, movement for a mistrial there, move for a mistrial, but the jury has spoken. So joining us now, Attorney Jeff Robbins. So, Jeff, the jury came to this verdict in just a matter of hours. These criminal convictions for contempt of Congress, they're pretty rare. As far as I can tell, the last one might have been G. Gordon Liddy 50 years ago during Watergate. What's the significance of this, do you think?
Well, we have had a couple of Trump staffers, so to speak, but the significance of it is that basically the Justice Department is serving notice that if witnesses, especially witnesses on matters as key as an attempted coup, are permitted to simply stiff arm or give the middle finger to Congress, which is trying to conduct investigations, then our system of government really cannot work. And although I know the argument was made by some that, look, the committee was disbanded and what difference does it make? It makes, of course, a great difference because Congress can't function, the separation of powers can't function. Our democracy as we know it, not to be melodramatic, can't function if people can just tell Congress, stuff it, we're not showing up in response to a subpoena. So DOJ has served notice that it's taking these kinds of contemptuous acts, and they were contemptuous acts, very seriously.
Right, and thank you for the correction. Steve Bannon was also, excuse me, convicted of contempt of Congress for defying subpoena from the January 6th committee. And Jeff, what I hear you saying, it's, you know, there are always disputes between witnesses and committees of Congress and a lot of fights over stuff like that. And sometimes the Justice Department declines to get involved. But are you saying that the magnitude of the issue here, the January 6th attack on the Capitol, the attempt to overturn that election, that in part is what has contributed to these now 2 guilty verdicts, Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, for defying that committee?
I do think you're absolutely right, Terry. I mean, the magnitude of this investigation, of all investigations, was such that the DOJ could hardly overlook the decision, the choice, as the prosecution put it, the choice made by Mr. Navarro to say, I don't care about you and your subpoenas. I am not showing up. There was no defense offered, no defense apparently that existed to his decision to tell Congress to stuff it. His lawyer, I think, told the jury something stinks here. I don't know what that means, but the jury wasn't persuaded that anything stunk. And Mr. Navarro was ultimately left with the consequences of his own choice, which probably will be jail time.
It is punishable, an offense punishable by up to a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. Jeff Robbins, Catherine Faulders, thanks for helping us out on that breaking news.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.